Hey guys, welcome to Creating Hanley. I am the Hanley at Creating Hanley, and today's star is called Lemoyne. You can see this called Lemoyne. You can see it called Lemon. You can see it called maybe an 8-point star, or you can see it called not a spinning star, but something along those lines. But anyway, it has many names, this star block. But we're going to do this star block for March. Another one in March. Are we doing this in March? Yeah, I think this is another 8-point star in March of 2023. So this is an extra block of the month because we did a different one in Irish themed fabric. And so we're going to do this one today. So I have some of it done already, but I want to show you a couple details in case you need to see how I put the blocks together and such. So we are going to use 3.5-inch blocks. So these are 3.5-inch blocks, and we are going to make, I just have a sample right here, we're going to make half square triangles. So you guys know what a half square triangle is. See how this is a square. A square is even on all four sides, right? So that's a square. Now a half square triangle is when you have this kind of fabric on one side and then another fabric on another side, making a triangle, and that makes a 45-degree angle. So if we do this, this is a 45-degree angle, and I'm actually using one with stripes. Maybe I should go one with stripes the opposite way. So if you have this square here, this is a 45-degree angle from corner to corner. And then, so the block is cut in half, but it's cut in half at a diagonal to create two triangles. So this is called a half square triangle. Because it's half a square, a triangle makes a half a square, right? You guys get that, right? So if you were to add another triangle here, like split this in half and have a triangle here and a triangle here, this is a quarter square triangle. Yeah? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to draw these and how to sew and cut them. So just in case we need to back up on that. So let me show you some tips on this, okay? So down here, I have my squares there. So we are doing a Sew a Year Full of Stars, and today's star block is this Lemoyne one. So I'm going to get that out of the way. Okay. So I have my 3.5-inch block right here. I have two fabrics. I have the printed sides together, and you want to make sure that they are lined up on all four sides. And then when you draw your line, I'm just using a number 2 pencil right here. And my point isn't even very sharp. You can see, like, it's not a very sharp point. But it works, and I'm going to use it. So it's just a, just a regular pencil. You don't need anything fancy here. Now when I line up my square, my flat edge here, my ruler, my square edge, I am lining up just shy of these points. Because if you put your, so if you can see this, if you put your ruler directly over those points, your line is not going to be on the points. Can you see that? I drew a slight line. It's not going to be on those points. It's going to be off. So what you want to do is accommodate your pencil tip or your pen tip or whatever you're using here for your mark, and accommodate that, and then you can make a little mark to see if that is right. And I'm going to make this kind of dark so you guys can see it on camera. So see how I did that? And then you just draw your straight edge so that you are accommodating the width of the pencil tip on your drawn line. So there you go. Do you see how that works? So now that is exactly from edge to edge. Okay? And then when you take it to your sewing machine, for this project, we are going to sew a 1/4 inch out on either side. So you can mark it if you'd like. To be very precise, you can mark that. And I have a 1/4 inch marking here. To be very precise, you can mark it. And these are your sew lines. That becomes now your sew lines. Oh, I did a pretty good job on guessing that. This is your cut line in the center, and these would be your sew lines. Now, if you have a guide on your presser foot or on your machine, like if you have washi tape, or if you have, let me just show you here, if you have like maybe washi tape, or you have like guide right here. This on my machine right here, it tells me this is a 1/4 inch, but it depends on where the needle is. Let me move that a little bit further so you can see that. So if you put your needle right along this edge, this will give you a 1/4 inch. So you have to know how to use your machine and what the markings are for. So let's do a sample right here. I hope you guys can see that. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to use a leader because this is on a diagonal and kind of a bias, and I don't want my point to get sucked down into the machine. So I know where my needle is. My needle is to the left of the middle of this line. So I'm going to line up. So I'm just going to show you guys. Right here, I'm going to line up this middle of my presser foot. I don't know if you can see that or not, but your machine will most likely be different, and it depends on what kind of presser foot you have on your machine. But I'm just going to line this line straight with my line, my drawn line, where I'm not going to sew. And then I know that this needle that comes down, if I press it down, it's just shy of a 1/4 inch. It's probably 1/8 of an inch actually. So if I really wanted to get a full 1/4 inch, I know I would have to line up my line a little bit between these two lines. So if I wanted to, I could put some, guide tape or something, a ruler or something along here to make sure that I keep my project straight. Now, because this is on a diagonal, it's on a diamond shape, I'm not, sewing straight across. It could get a little bit wonky because now this is the bias of the fabric. So it can stretch easily, is what I'm saying. So you just want to be careful on that, okay? So let's show you. I'm just going to throw this pencil down. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So you start with a leader. Start with your leader. Now I'm going to line up this pencil mark with that. And then I'm just going to sew straight down on that line. Now here's the other thing. If you have a drawn line, you don't have to line up your presser foot. You just draw straight on that line. Now that I came off of the fabric here, I'm going to swirl this around. And I'm going to start on this side. And there we go. And then here's my ender. My leader becomes my ender. And then I cut this off at the back. And now I have these two sewn lines. Sewn here and sewn here. And then I'm going to cut straight down the center. So I have sewn lines and then I cut straight down the center. So if I open this up, you can see now I have created 2 squares, but the squares are now in a rectangle or in triangles, right? So, where'd my big scissors go? Okay, missing my big scissors. So let's come over here to the cutting mat, and we're going to use the rotary cutter and a straight edge and just line up the straight edge along that pencil drawing that I have. And then be careful of the blade. You want to, unsheath the blade. And then just draw your blade straight and then sheath it again when you're done. Straight up that line, and now you have a sandwich. You have a cheese sandwich. No, just kidding. You have, it's like magic. You have a new square. You have a new square that looks like half square triangles, doesn't it? So you have that half, and you have this half. So now you created 2 new squares. So you've created 2 new squares. I can't even open it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you've created 2 new squares out of that one. All right? Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So see this? These are all in pieces. So, what we just created is this. These half square triangles. Okay.